welcome to Big Hat Homestead. Today we will be preserving the pepper harvest part 1 pickled peppers. We'll be making pickled peppers and candied peppers, also known as cowboy candy. Harvested 192 peppers. Today we will be preserving 114 of those 192 peppers. Since we're pickling, I had my first successful cucumber ever, so I'm going to go ahead and make a quick refrigerator pickle since I will have some brine left over. The recipes are in the description box. Let's go over the ingredients. 2 types of vinegar: apple cider vinegar, white distilled vinegar, pickling spices, pickle crisp, salt, sugar, cayenne pepper, turmeric, and water. We're going to start chopping up the jalapeno peppers. I'm just going to cut them into approximately 1/4 inch rings. And another note, I did switch out that salt. That particular one had an anti-caking ingredient. It's not recommended to use salt with iodine in it or an anti-caking ingredient. The anti-caking ingredient makes the brine cloudy, and the iodine makes the food weird colors. So they both are safe though, but it's recommended to use something that doesn't have those in it if you want to have a nice looking canned product. And I am new to canning. The only other things I've canned are jelly and salsa, and it was a very small amount. So I'm learning. So any of you vet canners out there, if you have any advice, shoot it at me. I definitely want to learn as much as possible. Okay, I'm done chopping up the jalapenos, and the first thing I'm going to be making is the candied jalapenos. Although both brines are cooking at the same time, I'm going to fill the candied jalapeno jars first. What I'm doing now is I'm combining all the ingredients, and I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then I'll put half of the jalapenos in there and simmer for 15 minutes. Then I will take the jalapenos out with a slotted spoon, put them in the jars, and then I will pour the brine over them, leaving a 1-inch head space, debubbling, wiping the rims, and tightening the lids. Finger tight only. As you can see, there's a lot of stickiness going on there, and you want your jars to seal, so make sure you use that vinegar to wipe the rims clean so that you won't have any problem with your jars sealing. And this is how it looks in the jars. It looks pretty already. And since I have some brine left over and these dottle peppers are new to me, I cleaned out all the flesh and I followed the same procedure, simmered them for 15 minutes, used a slotted spoon to put in the jars, and poured the brine over them. So one of the things is sugar does help to tame the heat, and I think that will help me learn this pepper better and enjoy the pepper. To process these peppers, you're going to put them in the canning pot with at least 1 inch of water above the lids, and then you're going to bring it to a boil, and once it boils, for me it's going to be 15 minutes in my altitude. One of the recipes is 10 and the other is 15, so I'm going with the longer so that I can combine them in the same canner. And I will put links in the description to find your altitude, and then also to the recipes. Next up is the pickled peppers. So the other half of the peppers, I am going to use the second brine, which is a 50-50 mix of vinegar, white distilled vinegar, and water. The recipe is in the description box. There also is salt and pickle crisp and pickling spices. And once I bring the brine to a boil, I follow the same technique. I fill the jars with the peppers and leaving a 1-inch headspace, I fill it with the brine and debubble, wipe the rims so that I can get a proper seal. I did try another pickling recipe. There is one on the USDA site. This particular one is from Ball. And it was just too strong for me. The vinegar, it was like 6 cups of vinegar to 2 cups of water. And that mixture, I didn't care for that. I don't know if there's a smaller recipe that they have. I did not find it on the website, but this was the perfect mixture for me. Go ahead and do your research and try it out. And again, any of you vets out there have any advice or any good sites or good books, please send that to me through the comments or a message. I definitely welcome all of that knowledge and experience. And now for my cucumber, I'm just going to cut off both ends and chop it up into slices, half of it, and then the other half I'm going to make little spears. And this cucumber tastes so good. Nothing like a homegrown cucumber. And I'm not just saying that because it's my first successful cucumber. It tastes amazing. I decided to use the sweet brine for this. I just thought it would taste good, and I am going to follow the same procedures. I'm going to fill my jars and then pour it to the rim. I don't need to worry about headspace because I'm not processing this in a canner. It's going to go into the refrigerator, so I'm going to just use a reusable lid to close it off. I also use pickle crisp and pickling spices, and you can eat this as early as one day, but it tastes better if you wait 2 to 3 weeks the flavor soaks in. Once I processed my pickled peppers for 15 minutes, I turned off the heat, let them sit for 5 minutes, and then I moved them over to the counter, making sure not to tilt them or remove any of the water on top. And I just let them sit there overnight. They need to sit at least 12 to 24 hours to cool. And while they're cooling, you will hear them popping. That is the jar sealing. The next day, I removed the rims and I checked the seals. Look at how beautiful these peppers look. They look amazing. So what you want to do is just press on them to make sure that lid isn't going to come off, and then try to grab it with your hand. If it has a pretty good hold, then your lids are sealed properly. cowboy candy, regular cowboy candy, and the dottle pepper. Since they're new to me, I went ahead and made them in a cowboy candy. So, just a recap, this was 114 of the 192 peppers, 29 of the dottle, and 85 of the jalapeno. Even if you don't grow your own peppers, if you see some on sale or if you enjoy peppers, this is definitely a good way to preserve them and to try something new. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Bye.